Like you probably saw online the way people were talking about Stormzy online. Like,
Yeah.
Because I want to go into that. Because I think there's this notion online that I heard that Stormzy doesn't make music for us.
I was one of them still. Let me be real. I was one of them.
And it's okay to not like someone's music, but to say his music isn't for us, when man's last 3 tunes he's been dropping, has been just him just rapping. Obviously, he's got the feature on Ray's tune, Weekend, something like that Weekend tune with Ray. Which I think is I like that tune surprisingly.
It's a vibe still.
That's what I'm saying. Even one of the tunes that he's rapping on, I mentioned it before. Longevity Flow. Listen, that's one of my. If you go on my you know the on repeat playlist on Spotify, bro, that's like top. I've been playing that tune bare. So I think then, do you know what annoys me? It's like almost like it's this notion that just because a rapper goes mainstream now, that all of a sudden he's making music that's not for us. If that makes sense. Just because he dropped, what's that tune? His last album, whereby everything's very like melodic. You're someone that's an advocate of someone. You just said try things.
Yeah.
You're someone that's an advocate for that.
Yeah, I am.
That's him trying stuff. Before he was grime Stormzy that was spitting on the mic.
I had to, and again to go back to the honesty humility thing. I said that, but then because I think Mimi posted it. So I quote tweeted her. She responded to me, and then she kind of asked me like, "Why? When you say us, what do you mean not for us?" And then I had to kind of backtrack and be humble about it and say, "You know what? I'm wrong in the way I worded it. I wouldn't say he doesn't make music for us. I just feel like there's a disconnect between what he talks about."
So I see. This is the thing.
Wait, no.
Say what you're gonna say.
Because disconnect between what he's saying, or like maybe in the vibe he's going.
What's the disconnect?
Well, I'll get there. But my second thing was I believe Stormzy himself, whether he's an open limits or not, he's going through an identity crisis.
What?
Hold on. Let me land. My thing was.
I think he's fine. I think he's found who he is.
No, I think he's found, but I'm saying in terms of, it's not an identity crisis with like internally. It's an identity crisis externally where he hears this. He hears what we're saying. Like no rapper's gonna not say, oh, like dog. I'm not saying he cares about it, but he hears the whole. Because he spoke about it on songs that people say, I'm not making songs about the culture, what's like, do. But what I'm saying is, like, I feel like he's going for, he's still trying to feel like, okay, I'm Stormzy, I'm a superstar, he is a superstar, but I can't keep making songs from a part of life where I'm not anymore. Like, I've elevated, do you know what I'm saying? And one thing that, again, I'll say it as well, I have to be honest, is we want rappers to tell the truth of where they are right now. Facts. Why should we expect Stormzy to backtrack or go back further to where he's not? He's living a different life, one. And secondly, my issue or why I feel like the disconnect is the culture feel like he doesn't make music for them because he's not in the struggle. And that's when I realised as a culture, we need to get out of that mindset that if it's not struggle, it's not about us. Because there are black billionaires, millionaires, people doing good for themselves out there. But as you said before many times on this podcast, people just don't like it. People like it when you succeed, but they don't like it when you exceed past the level where they don't see you going. Because now that elation turns into jealousy. I'm like, oh, raw, like I didn't know he'd go this far. Let me be a hater. He shouldn't be that far. Now let's keep it real, but let's keep it true. Sorry, but also at the same time, my take on Stormzy was that people tell me, oh, but he changed the scene. But my feeling of Stormzy is this, and I don't know, you can rebut after this. Stormzy makes music for moments. And when I say that, I mean, you watch the video, you see it first time, yo, this is live. You play it, yo, but it's mad different. You play this is live. But it's not something I'll add to my playlist. But if I do hear it and I do go back to it, I remember that moment. And I feel like that's fine because there's many artists, and again, I don't think this is fair to put on Stormzy, that have made music for moments. Stormzy just doesn't have good replay value making music right now. And I feel like, we'll go into this later on because there's another topic I brought up where Stormzy should now go into his P. Diddy 50 Cent era of bloody young people.
Yeah, let me dissect what you just said. Yeah. So one, the identity crisis. You saying that externally he hears us. That's not identity crisis. I think he's found who he is and he's embracing it. He's, as you said, he knows he's Stormzy's a superstar. Do you know why he's feeling like this?
Yeah.
Because of course he hears what everyone's talking about. Of course, every rapper hears what people are talking about. For him, he's realized that, yo, hold on, as you said, I'm Stormzy. I've been in this thing for 10+ years. I don't think people realise that. He's been in the rap scene for 10+ years.
Wicked Skengman came out like, I think that was 11 or 12.
Bro, that's what over 10 years. 10 years plus.
It was.
He's been in this game for 10 years plus. So when all these nobodies, as he may think he may call them, and you know, he's in his right to call them all these nobodies. Are speaking about him like he's some anybody. Of course, he should feel like that.
Yeah.
Now, for the thing as you mentioned about the struggle, listen, I don't know about everyone else. This is a you lot's problem. But when Stormzy is telling me or flexing about how much the Patek on his wrist costs, I can't lie. That makes me smile.
Yeah.
And that motivates me. I don't know about you lot that have jealousy creeping in you, whereby you're like, oh, I can't relate to him because you'd rather hear about a guy in a trap. Yeah. I can't lie.
And that's what someone
tires
said.
Me, bro.
That's what someone said about the hypocrisy, is that you will say you relate to a Blade Brown, but you've never been a criminal. You've never done anything criminal in your life. And then I was like, you know what?
You ain't moved a thing in your life. Let alone drugs. You ain't moved a thing in your life.
You ain't even stole Haribos.
Bro, not even stole Haribos. You ain't even sold sweets in the playground before.
That, bro.
You don't know about hustling.
You've never had detention in your life.
Yeah.
Been a good youth. 100% punctuality.
No, and the thing is, I love being a good youth.
Yeah.
But like, my thing is with people is that I feel like Stormzy's in his almost like in his Jay-Z bag, in a way whereby he's like, he's done what he's needed to do. He's solidified.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says. And he's realised that, Dave's doing what he's doing. J Hus is doing what he's doing. Central C is doing what he's doing. And he's going to embrace them. And he's going to like, look at the way he's dropping even. He's not dropping trying to be on the charts. This is Stormzy we're talking about. He's had a #1 album before a lot of these guys had a #1 album. Like, he's just dropping music, rapping. And I feel like now he's rapping because, and he's talking his talk because now that, as you mentioned...
There's no pressure to sell high, yeah.
No, not even that there's no pressure, because he's going to sell regardless. He's not under pressure from no one. Like, he's going to sell regardless. He just sold out the O2, twice? Him and Dave did it more or less. I think he did it just before Dave. But forgetting, he had a world tour just before lockdown that got cancelled, that he was going to Australia.
Yeah, he was.
How many rappers can even chat and say that, oh yeah, I'm going to Sydney to go on my world tour?
World tour.
Let alone, the only person I see that's gone onto them sides is Central C right now. And Skepta went Japan years ago, and then Dave hasn't even done that.
Sims has done it. She got massive.
No, to Australia and Asia.
Yeah, she was just in Sydney, like.
Oh, was it?
So,
yeah. Well, yeah. So all these people that are talking, like, whoa, like this is Stormzy we're talking.
Do you know?
About.
I feel like you said no. He's seen Chus, Dave, and C. going on.
These are the new.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I said, it might end the note. Do you feel like he's now in that 50 Cent? P Diddy
not
type.
50 Cent. He's in his Jay-Z bag.
I
wouldn't say 50 Cent, because 50 Cent isn't like.
I'm not saying in terms of 50. But 50 Cent always shows love to the young rappers. Like they'll all like even recently brought J Cole out. J Cole said, "Get Rich or Die Trying, greatest album of all time." But like the younger.
Yeah, but 50 is not really. He's not known for that. And why I say Jay is because, like, he picks and chooses his moments. Like, for example, when Jay dropped 444, like, he might feature on this tune or that tune, and it's like behind the scenes he's doing things, and he's not telling anyone about it. It's people that will come out and say, "Yo, Stormzy's like, he's done this and this for me," like, and the way, like, just in general, he just embraces everyone, and you can tell he's doing it from whereby it's a love. It's not something whereby, like, a lot of these people that sometimes, like, they're doing it in a standpoint whereby they want to get credit from everyone.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Like the Drake co-sign. As much as he co-signs others, he profits off it as well.
Like, you can tell the relationship between Stormzy and Dave is real. It's not no industry because we're both rappers.
He sees him as my younger brother type thing.
And you can see that. So, yeah, as I was saying, that Stormzy, this ideology that I saw or that I've seen online, that Stormzy feels threatened by Dave, Central C, and all these man. He needs to quickly think of a new tune that's got replay value because he needs to chart. He's charted already. He's done what he's needed to do.
But do you honestly think now his songs are replayed? This isn't. And I'm just saying.
Personally, the first, as of recently, Longevity Flow.
But that was one of 3 songs he dropped, because the Fredo thing was dead. I'll be real.
Toxic Trait, I still play that here and there, but at the same time, yeah, 1 out of 3 tunes, the way people talk, because, listen, forget Central C, forget Dave, forget J Hus, them 3 are doing what they're doing. Yeah. How many rappers outside have tunes that are even popping like that? Sprinter's been number 1 for 10 weeks. How many rappers can even say that? How many rappers can say that they've even stood in their... No one's even done that. So, and this is Stormzy's, but this is technically Stormzy's in that realm. Do you get what I'm saying? So this idea that he has to, I don't know, he has to put out a tune that's going number 1, that's in the top 5 charts, and blah, blah, blah.
What annoys me about this conversation is when we say the culture, we're just not being real. And I think someone said it where it's like, I'd rather people say they don't rate Stormzy than say that whole, sorry, they don't rate Stormzy's music, they say the whole, he's not for the culture. Because this is a guy that has a book club sending people to universities on scholarships for the culture. Someone that spoke up for Black Lives Matter, the culture. Someone like you said, like Dave, where he's openly co-signed Dave and he's helping him get all these things, be in all these places in the culture. And my other thing is that, then what is the culture then? Because we can't say something this one for the culture who's doing all this good. So what is the culture that you said? What are we trying to identify as the culture as? Because I don't know, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know, because even me, I have to take a step back. You know what? My first take was wrong. I just worded it wrong. I still think Stormzy definitely for the culture. Maybe just the way he raps is just not something that connects with me, which is fine. Like, he doesn't have to. He has nothing to prove, which I've also agreed on as well. Stormzy was never my cup of tea. But for you to then go out and say this guy is not for the culture, you're just taking it overboard.
I think when people say he's not for the culture, they mean as in musically, because of the way he's talking, it's the struggle. As we mentioned, he's not talking about the struggle no more. So that means you're not for the culture. Whereas we need to. In my head, yeah, when I see these guys doing what they're doing, rapping about what they're rapping about, and this is what their reality is about. I'm thinking, do you know how sick this is? That I don't think people realize, like for example, do you know how crazy it is? Like, I hate to touch on the numbers, but in general, when you're seeing rappers that are charting in the official charts and they're able to actually live off rapping, whereby in the past guys weren't able to do that. We complain that we always see people and complain like, it's so unfortunate that he has to go back to doing what he's doing before. These guys are able to actually live off rapping and music, and you know, I don't think people realize like how sick that is. The fact that as I just mentioned that Dave and Central C are number 1 for 10 weeks on the official charts. It's not Taylor Swift or Adele or Miley. Big up Adele, but it's not Taylor Swift, Adele or Beyonce or the typical names. This is just brothers. It's brothers that look like us that are on the charts, that are charting. That look like just like me and you.
I love what you say. Look like us, bro.
That come from similar ends. That look like man them that we see every day, that we're around, that we grow up with. These are the guys that are doing their thing. So for me personally, if you're someone out there that is rubbed the wrong way, or you're out there commenting negative, like these men are shit, it's like you have issues. Because to me, that makes me happy. When I see Dave and Central C, when I see K-Trap in Canada or Toronto rapping warm, and I've seen Canadians rapping these tunes, like as I mentioned, that like K-Trap is another brother that I've seen in my life before every day, or that I've grown up with. Do you get what I'm saying? That's how I see it. So when people are bitter about it, to me, it's like, you're weird. And the thing is, I'm not... And I know people be thinking, there's nothing wrong with us thinking that a song's not good or cool. There's a lot of rappers that I think aren't that great. But I'm not going to come out here and start slating them and thinking... Or going online as well, behind a burner account or behind... Or your main account if you think you're that person, and then just tweeting bare negative shit. How am I going to do that?
Yeah, and you know what's funny? People's reactions online and offline, it will show the
online.
What it always shows, is the let me know this one.
How much of a pussy you are. To me, that's what it shows.
Yeah, to you, but I'm saying my one is more like it shows the character of your heart.
Yeah.
Because like Ben said, if you're seeing people that are doing well, coming from the same ends as you, look like your brethren, and your heart isn't warm to that,
that's what I'm saying.
You've just got no one has a bad heart, but there's something in the heart that needs to be checked. Because you're seeing through the eyes of jealousy, you're seeing through the eyes of covetousness, if you know what I mean. That means taking something that I see someone else has. But that's not a good time, because at the end of the day, like Ben said, you should see that as a stepping stone or something that you can do. And the whole, like, yo, it's sad, man, because, like, oh, bro, I hate seeing our culture like this. Because what I want to say is, now, we've always said the Americans or the rest of the world don't respect our thing musically. We are now at the forefront of it musically.
They're coming to us.
Bro.
Little Dirk is in Central C's comment section saying, "Listen, I'm gonna leak our tune."
Before,
do you know how
many Schmadders and Ends in the studio with Rimsey?
He's probably around here.
Dude, he's trying to talk in the English. He's all up in the blogs and streamers of UK. Like, bro, like, that's what Sprinter's taking over. Who told you dance tune?
Yeah.
Like, so to a point now where there's people like Joe Budden's pod. You see that guy Ice was like, "Yo,
Afrobeats.
I'm tired of the Afrobeats."
Yeah, but the thing is, forget about him. Shout out to you, why? Because even now, look at Afrobeats as well.
It's massive.
Afrobeats is massive.
Biggest genre in the world.
Burna Boy, that's what I'm saying. When I see Burna Boy doing what he's doing in stadiums, all these Little Dirk and Little Baby,
they're cancelling dates.
They've cancelled 1-2 dates.
Yeah.
They're still doing their thing in arenas, but the fact that Burna Boy's come where he's come from, Burna Boy is local. Burna Boy is from East.
Bro, he's
East
doing
London.
Beyonce type venues.
That's what I'm saying. And he's doing that in America. He's not just doing it in Africa or maybe the UK.
Bro,
him
so
and
this is what I'm
Wizkid are doing
saying.
stadiums.
Like, we now need to get with the pro that UK's on top and use that to advantage, bro. And this ain't no begging up to the Europe or the USC no more. Yeah.
And do you know what? Do you know one thing because I always used to hear. I think you may have said it. I'm not sure. Correct me if you still believe this. But you know when people say American music's better than UK, people have been saying that. You know when there was I think maybe like a year or two ago.
The whole quality still is though.
It's not to me though. UK rap to me is better than American rap.
Well, shall I tell you why that's dishonest? You just said outside of Central C.
I listen to Rimsey. I listen to Blade. I listen to Trap. I listen to Young's Teflon. I listen to Pot of Paper. Yeah, Dave, as I mentioned. I still listen. J House here and there. Yeah, these guys are like top rappers. Top rappers. If you want, you can throw in Nines even. Nines has dropped a cold project. Who else? There's so many rappers that are rapping sick. America, if I'm being real, the women are on top right now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Little Baby, he ain't dropped nothing.
But music
Little Dirk ain't dropped.
The only thing that puts America up right now is the discography of past. But I'll be with you right now.
And Drake don't count for American music. Drake, I don't categorize Drake as American rap. Do you categorize Drake as American rap?
That nigga wants to be American, bro.
He wants to be from North.
You say that, bro.
He's rapping about being in N15. He wants to be from London, bro.